And we're back with caramel cake and drinks, guys. Well, welcome to the show. Today we actually have our friendly neighborhood YouTuber on, Stevie J.
Hey, do you want to play a song?
Yeah.
What were you playing before? I'll put that on.
Which one?
Play that as the intro. play that as the intro song.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, alright. Ruthless.
Just put it up to... Just kind of put it up near the mic. And she'll be right. She'll be.
Shibby.
That's gospel, wasn't
it? That is gospel right there, children.
It's beautiful.
If you hit it right, you can fuck me with the lights on. That's gospel.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode... I have no idea what episode this is. Thank you very much, and I'm here with my boy Finn.
What up?
What's going on, boy?
No, not much. Just smashing cones and smashing cake. What are you up to? How's your day?
Pretty much the same thing. The same thing.
COVID hasn't got you down that bad?
No, not really.
No.
Although, I was thinking about it today. I actually legit reckon, like for sure, one of us will get it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
100% gonna get it. Think of all the people coming from Melbourne to escape COVID during the 2-week holiday.
Yeah.
I know my uncle's already down with his children, but so I can only think how many other people have come down this way or to all the other small coastal towns. It's just opened up, and it's funny because it's like a lot of them rely on the tourism.
Oh yeah,
at the same time,
that's like our entire business where I work. But at the same time, I know for a fact, I'm not going to name anyone, but I know people that work there that don't literally want like anyone there. Like they don't want it themselves. So it's kind of like it's one of those things, where it's what's more important, life or economics, I guess. So
the funny thing is that we've never seen a pandemic like this in modern times. The closest was like, what was it? There was some flu in 1956.
Oh, Spanish flu.
No, that was in the closest we've had for like modern times, like where there's been international flight and international mail and like how much. Think about how much travel and international like stuff happens every day, like ships coming in, planes. How many planes were still taking off and coming into Australia?
Oh no!
During the total ban of our borders.
What is like?
So what it is a total lockdown of all borders? Does that mean nothing comes in and out? Because that would force Australia to go back into manufacturing from like the start, and a lot of businesses don't want to do that, and liberals don't want to do that.
That's for sure.
Because it hurts their bottom dollar.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because manufacturing isn't cheap, and to pay a Australian workforce to do it would not be cheap. That's why even in today's industry, like, why do you think meat plants are filled with Chinese people on 4, 5, 6 visas, or whatever the visa is?
It's a fact that it's just cheaper labour, and of course everything's capitalist minded. So
But socialism isn't even better though, bro. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. They're like, oh, socialism. Oh, no, it just hasn't been done right. No, cunt. It's been done right every time it's been executed.
So what do you mean by that?
Like, look at Venezuela. Like, they followed the Marxist tenets, like the 10 tenets. And get it up. I don't know them off by heart, but like the 10 tenets of Marxism, they followed, pretty much implemented the same thing, like the same policies as that recommends to influence true socialism.
Yep.
And it's fucked the country.
Is socialism, just out of curiosity, that's a left-leaning policy, isn't it?
Pretty much. It's like for the workers.
Yep.
But what happens is more like tyrants.
How about this? I'm just going to go throw this one out there. How about every fucking thing? Socialism, capitalism, communism, fucking every ism you can think of. How about none of them are perfect and we still haven't been able to figure out the perfect system?
That's fucking spot on, cunt.
Oh my god, you're a fucking genius.
You're a fucking genius. No, it's just fact.
Yeah. So,
but I feel capitalism has almost it is the best for growing a country, but sustaining it long term and for the people is not great. You get what I mean? Like, it needs, if you're going to do capitalism, it needs to be backed up with a bunch. I mean, lots more social programs than there already are.
Yep.
Backed by the government.
Mm-hmm.
And funded well, so they have the supplies and the support they need to actually do their job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really needs to go on.
So one of the topics we actually wrote about is globalization.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about globalization? What do you think about it?
Do
you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, or is it both? And
see, globalization, I feel it's inevitable. It's always going to happen. But I feel like for that to inevitably happen, there'd be no borders, and I feel that's what the push with the it's the push with the migrant caravans and the flooding of Europe with migrants and stuff like that. I feel that's the push for the no borders thing.
Yep.
Like, look at the EU. They one passport, one money system, sort of like a mini.
The Schengen area you're talking about.
Like think of the EU, like the European Union.
Yep.
That is like a small little globalist, like, set up, as in like a little test run, if you will.
Yeah. It's kind of like a beta test, isn't it?
That's what it is, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Then you got the Commonwealth as well. That's another sort of little different, like, experimentation though. You're not. I guess you are and aren't committed to the Queen, but you still are, like, to England, but not as much anymore.
Oh, dude, if there was, I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it again. If there's anyone on this planet that I would be able to root, it'd be the Queen. Just straight in the bumhole. She'd fucking love it, I reckon.
Would it be your proudest moment, though? That is the question.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, fuck, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly think the globalization is inevitable. I don't know, like, if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone's all tied up about, like, you know, the borders, where they come from. Nationalism's still a thing. And I think that's why, like, we do see such flooding of borders. I know people are trying to escape third world countries. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
On that matter, I do think our countries should be doing more to lift up third world countries into better times and not overthrow dictators and install people, not like that, but actually give the people power to be able to be self-sufficient and actually lift themselves up, not pander to them.
Yeah,
I feel that's the difference. I feel like by not letting them in, I know they've got nowhere to go. I know they're sick. I know they're starving. I know they're hurting. I know it's terrible where they are. But where are they? What religion are? Like, I don't want to be. Where are they?
Yeah.
What religions are they? What's going on in that part of the world? Who caused a lot of it?
Instead of, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Instead of fixing a problem by, and I agree, like, wholeheartedly. If someone wants to come to any country and they're running away from the standards that are subpar as a human, you know, we got a fucking UN. Right?
We got exactly. What's the UN?
What the fuck do they even do? Like, seriously,
nothing. All they do is just fucking, you know,
jerk each other off in the corner. I fucking want to go to those parties.
I want to go. That's my sort of party, right? The khaki party at the UN.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. And, like, what about WHO? Like,
the World Health Organization.
What the fuck do they do?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I actually don't know.
Do we get told about any of these organisations really, unless we, like, have to?
Unless we actively find them.
Yeah. Well, what did our schooling teach us about this sort of shit?
Schooling don't teach you any of this shit. This is all you learned stuff after school.
Yeah, exactly. Australian schooling, just the same as the rest of the world. Remember this and you'll do good.
Yep. Yeah, it's more of a memory test than anything else, isn't it?
I should have done great because I have a fucking great memory.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I've got a horrible memory. Yeah, long term and short term, good.
Short term bad because of weed, but like that's because of daily smokers, boys and girls. But, you know,
long term
good.
Yeah.
I can really withhold information if it's told to me. Reading took a long time because of dyslexia. But,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had dyslexia.
Yeah, I was dyslexic, on the spectrum of autism.
Yep.
So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So I did a lot of like brain games and stuff as a child to catch up. So it was really, really interesting times.
Yep.
So that was good. Nah.
Beautiful.
But no, fuck, it was pretty interesting. Like, honestly, like to really start understanding how your brain works in that as a child to have to figure out different ways to learn was weird. But it just shows you how remarkable a brain can be.
Well, you were talking about the IQ test before.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there's a standard IQ test kind of thing. But
Yes.
I guess intelligence, to me, isn't necessarily...
It
can't be standardized. Because what happens if you're incredibly intelligent about one's topic? Or you've got... So, A is incredibly intelligent about one thing. B is really quite smart across a broad... Like, who's smarter? Who's more intelligent? The one person that knows, that's like bang on dead.
What you'll find is a lot of those people would be on the spectrum and would have hyper-focused on this stuff as a child to help, like, deal with stuff or something. That's why you get, like, a lot of math geniuses and stuff like that.
Math guys. There's movies and shit on.
Yeah, exactly. They have incredible IQs and stuff, but, like, it's
But they may not be necessarily super intelligent in the various...
Yes, they are super intelligent people.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Pigeonholed.
Yeah, exactly, because they've gone hard after this one subject and whatnot and really picked it.
Yeah.
But they also, I feel like they could have picked any topic and done that too.
Yeah. So it's interchangeable. It's just that they chose that one for some
reason. It could be the numbers. I feel like there's a lot of young math prodigies out there because numbers just help them cope.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, so as part of the show that I do every time, I ask some philosophical questions.
Yes.
So usually I ask 5, but because you seem to be interested in answering some of them, I've written down 8.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So, cool. All right, man. So question 1, philosophical question number 1. So just with all these questions, right? You can take, everyone answers them differently, right? Obviously. And you can take 30 seconds to answer one. You can take fucking 20 minutes to answer one.
Cool.
Whatever you want. So it is off the dome, so you don't actually have prior knowledge to these questions.
Awesome. I probably have already thought somewhat on subjects. I don't know.
Sure. Just let me know after you've answered each one, and we'll go to the next one. Cool. So question 1. What do you consider to be the meaning of a good life?
That depends. Is it the one force-fed on us, or is it by mainstream, or is it the one that we make for ourselves? And
I don't know. It's open to interpretation, bro. All of them. Yeah.
I don't know. So there's small joys of growing your own veggies and being self-sufficient in that way, and actually being a human and enjoying your family's company and being emotionally open and not living up to stereotypes and whatnot is so much freeing than living the bullshit life of just fucking 9-to-5 corporate world. Fucking do this, you gotta be this, go to school, go to college, get a job, get a house, find a wife, have kids, retire, die in an old folks' home. Fuck that for our life.
Yeah.
That is not living, Barry.
Barry, you need to get the fuck out of that.
My God, cunt. I couldn't think of anything more mundane. I'm doing it a little bit now. I'm doing it now to support my kid and my family. And I get it. I totally get it. But I've lived the opposite where I just did whatever the fuck I pleased, you know? Sweet, bruh. Fucking sweet. I had more fun and learned so much shit about myself. Fucking couch surfed, lived in random places, done shit work for shit people, cash in hand.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck I felt like. Loved it. That is fucking freedom.
Beautiful. Question 2. Have we become less happy in the technological age?
Fuck yes.
And how so?
Serotonin, dopamine, addiction, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much our devices give us fucking pleasure. Therefore, nothing else gives us fucking pleasure.
Yeah.
It's pretty much easy. The more we connect, I'm doing quotation marks for everyone. No one can see this.
We're just doing those.
So the more we connect online as people, the less happy we are.
Mm-hmm.
I feel happiness comes from fucking enjoying each other's company, from doing the fucking small things with your mates. Just and just being with someone and present with them, not in your phones, just fucking 100% present, is so much more enjoyable than sitting online talking to your friends on your phone, glued to fucking Xbox, whatever.
It kind of for me.
And then
I like that answer because it kind of ties back to me to like almost like a meditative state. It's like slowing your mind down to a meditation state is like being aware.
That's it.
Very similar,
I feel like it's a bit of mind.
Just information overload constantly.
That's the thing, bro. Anything you think of and you need an answer for is actual fucking fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Fingertips, right there.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
In some aspects. And yet so addictive. You can't sleep at night anymore. You don't sit up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning wondering if penguins have knees. You fucking Google that shit.
And do they?
Yes.
Holy shit.
They're just high up in their like pelvis area. Like you think it's a pelvis up here, but no, it's a fucking knees.
Oh. I love it. All right, number 3. This one's a good one. Are humans obliged to better themselves? So are we obligated to better ourselves? And does it make us happy?
I feel like everyone's obliged to better themselves as a human. Not in the sense of bettering themselves monetarily or anything but as a person. I feel we all need to better ourselves. Just like it's pretty weird living in 2020 and coming from a small country town. You walk past anybody, most people on the walking track, whatnot, they smile and give you a wave, whatnot. That friendly community is dying out, and I feel that's a problem.
Yep. I was actually, funnily enough, talking about the other day about the class of people that just don't exist anymore, basically, which is, well, I mean, they do, but like your middle class, so financially great, like where generally in the past, and this isn't being sexist, it's been most 90% of the time a male that has worked while the female stays at home with the children, right?
Yes.
That's a class, not a class, but like the standard median class of what has been for the last 60 years, right? They don't exist anymore because unfortunately now females, or if it was the other way around and it was the male at home, everyone needs to, like both parties need to work now, essentially.
That's because there's the price of living has gone up, where the wages have stayed stagnant. Thanks, liberals.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Beautiful. Question 4: does evil come from within? Yes or no, and why or why not?
So, that's a fucking good one.
Yeah, I know. This one's my favourite.
Evil comes from within, right? Depends on what your preconceived notion of evil is. In some places, things considered evil are an everyday thing, but we know they're evil. Mm-hmm. So, do we go off the 10 Commandments because they seem to be true in like the most basic way possible to stock standard evil?
Yeah. But
like, the most basic ones, like thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. I don't know. Theft is a weird one. Theft is weird. If you're stealing like a loaf of bread to feed your family or some shit like that, you're stealing for a fucking purpose.
Yeah.
If you're just breaking into people's house to fucking fuel your meth addict, your meth addiction, get fucked. You deserve to get shot. There's no sympathy like here.
Yeah.
But if you like are desperate and just stealing something like food or some shit like food or clothing like that,
just your basic necessities,
your
of
basic needs of life. I feel like
what's
that's
that fucking thing they taught us in school? Maslow's hierarchy or whatever. Do you remember that one?
No.
It's like psychological. I can't remember the physiological needs, which is like foods and then it goes up, and then it goes up to like love, and then self-esteem, and then it's in order of like what you need as a basic human. And the thing going back to the fucking coming full circle back to we were talking about third world countries before. Some of those don't even get the basic physiological needs.
So how the fuck can you get the rest as a human? So therefore, does that go back to the evil? What's evil in those countries?
I don't know. I have no idea. So,
What's
okay.
considered evil? Is evil coming through and chopping up all the man's hands in the village so they can't work the fields and feed the village? Whilst taking all the boys? Is that evil?
I assume so, yeah. Sounds evil.
Who said? But who said?
That's just from my perspective. It's just like you're hurting someone else is like evil, I guess. But then again, you could unintentionally hurt someone. So, I don't know. This is why I love these questions, man.
No,
So,
like...
but the actual act of evil, your interpretation of evil, do you feel that comes from within or is that taught?
I feel like it's a taught thing.
Yep.
What we're taught what's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we have no idea.
That's good. Cool. Number 5. Are people in this generation more sensitive than previous generations?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
I feel like we've talked about...
I think the actual answer is hard to determine. Only reason why I feel like that's the case is that they may have been sensitive 60 years ago, but they weren't connected, inverted, so you couldn't see everything 50, 60 years ago. So they would have probably gone through similar issues. I just feel like history repeats itself.
History
It's
does
just that
repeat
right
itself.
now we're seeing it in the fucking eye.
We see all of it
maybe.
through a narrative of media.
Most people would answer yes. Most people would say yes to...
Look, when I really think about it, like, I feel... Because we talk about such issues like mental health. It's really good to bring up mental health. It's great to bring up mental health. Everyone has mental health. I feel like mental health is a spectrum. Everyone goes, I have anxiety. Everyone has depression.
Yeah.
Stock standard bullshit. The other ones, though, are really fucked up. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
what do you mean by that, sorry?
I feel like things like bipolar and you're having mood swings and stuff like that, and you can't control it. Like, depression and anxiety, you get that. But, from simple things like exercising and eating right, you can actually control that pretty easily. You don't need medications. Cool. It's the other stuff, and I feel like
other mental conditions.
Yeah. And because we're living in a world where everyone has post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and on a level of somewhat, or claims to have a level of PTSD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of victim points. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel people are as sensitive as they say they are. I feel they use it as to one up you. Like, I have this or this, and what they're really doing is just wanting to argue with you.
Yeah,
and just want to win an argument and shut you down in conversation.
Yeah.
Then, like...
Instead of open up to a possibility that you're wrong.
So they won't... The idea of people are sensitive these days, I feel people are more closed-minded in their ideas, and it's the idea of debate and discussion and critical thinking has gone out the window. So, no, I don't think people are as sensitive anymore. That's why we're seeing such brutal riots and everything like that in America.
Yeah.
It's not because of police brutality. It hasn't, it's bad. But guess what? Nine black people died last year, unarmed in America. Yeah. I think 19 white people did last year unarmed.
Okay.
Didn't hear about those 19, did you? Doesn't fit the narrative.
Well, I mean...
it's horribly sad for everybody involved. And I know, it doesn't make sense. I know the the 9 young men only make up 6% of the population. It's 13%, but you take away so it's it makes up a small percent. I think it's 13% of the population is black in America. I think it's something like that. Yeah, something close to that.
I'm going to play devil's advocate just for fun.
Yeah,
right? And I'm not calling you out here. I'm just saying. Obviously we rely on statistics, right? But
statistics can only show you so much.
Regardless of white, black, yellow, brown, purple, fucking any race ever, all those 9, all those 16, every single person that has died from police brutality across the thing, every single person
should be recognised.
Statistic, but they are humans.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's horrible how we internalize that and just throw it out as numbers instead of humans. But it's a natural thing.
Of course.
When you write it down on paper and you turn it into numbers, you dehumanize these people. Therefore, you can actually start talking about the issue. I feel like we do and don't need to bring the human in and out of these things. Like, you know what I mean? There needs to be we need to understand that these are human beings, but we also need to understand like the percentage, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I understand. I 100% know they're not and they're human beings, but you need to understand the percentage to understand and sort of get a grasp of what's really going on.
Yeah. I think regardless of percentages and everything, I think it's so fucking obvious that black people in America get treated as second-class citizens.
Yes.
So it's just like, obvious. Like,
it is.
Like, there's been something that's been happening for fucking hundreds of years. Like, fucking, regardless of police brutality or not, they're getting treated across the board differently. So
that's true. Like, the Aboriginals here are still getting treated poorly.
Yeah.
We still treat them poorly.
Yeah.
It's no different. But, like, I feel the newer generations and stuff are becoming less racist but more fascist.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. Hey, we're going to lead into a left versus right culture war, so I'll pull you up there because we'll go to the next thing because the left versus right will be fun.
Okay.
So let's go with this one. Does free will exist, or is every action predetermined?
Predetermined by you, or by your needs, or by what someone else needs, or what? I have the free will not to do them. So yes.
So you think it's predetermined?
Free will is predetermined, or
so if you make a choice right now, and that choice is to go outside this room and go pat your dog, that movement and everything that you've done, is that you choosing to do so, or is it already been pre-written and pre-scripted?
Depends. Are we in a computer program or what kind? Is that what you're trying to get to?
Yeah.
Is that what you're at?
Yeah.
Alright. Wow. Depends. I've seen some glitches, but then again, my mental health hasn't been great. Or maybe has that opened my eyes and actually seen some more shit?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Because the other voices in my head, whew, they tell me differently. No, only one does. The other two are pretty nice.
And I suppose it leads on to the last question. Are we a minuscule part of life in the universe? Is there other intelligent life on the universe?
Probably.
Yeah. Back to numbers, isn't it?
Statistically speaking,
yeah.
there could be.
Yeah.
Even if they're like, biomass or, probably not intelligent. Don't know if there's intelligent. Highly unlikely there's intelligent. Other life forms, most likely.
Yep.
Pre-evolved things, probably. Don't know. We could land on a planet like they could be going through their not an ice age, but a stone age. It's like what we're seeing on our planet, where we're seeing some species of apes and monkeys going through a stone age right now using tools. Hella cool, right? We can actually watch evolution.
Cool. Fuck it. So we've spoken a little bit about globalization, but I was just going to lean back on the left versus right culture war. The good thing about this show, I find as well, and probably a little disclaimer or something, but this is obviously the first time you've heard it, is that I actually love it when I talk to people that have different opinions. So with this left or right culture war, if you have a different opinion from me, that's good. Because
probably will.
I love talking about it.
That's
why I do this.
And mate, I'm really open for conversation. That's why I'm sitting down. Like change my mind.
Yeah. So my thing is that I feel like, and this is just like categorization. Once again, we group things into numbers and groups, right? So alt
it's
left,
easier.
alt right. Yeah. So we group I probably, it depends on the topic that you ask me. Like, if you just went, how do you feel about abortion? How do you feel about euthanasia? How do you feel about social? All those things, they'll line up politically on the spectrum of political. I would say I'm
centrist, by the
probably
way.
centre left.
I'm centre right.
Oh, there you go.
Just.
Yeah. So, but I can't fucking stand alt left or alt right.
They're both horrible people.
They're both horrible. I feel like the alt left cancel culture kind of attitude
is worse than...
I think alt right's worse, but I think alt left is... Alt right... how can I say it? Alt right's much more in the media.
They're much more present.
Media.
That's because of the narrative. The Democrats, like the Democratic owned, news corporations, is trying to portray this narrative that white people are bad. What's funny is a lot of those hard alt things. There's Mexicans and there's blacks. There's a whole fucking mix of people.
In what? Sorry.
In the alt right, it's recruiting so many more people because of the alt left.
Yeah.
That's what they don't realize. That's why the alt left. They're making the problem worse by being so vocal.
Because I feel like cancel culture is a shocking one, right? Because to me, cancel culture is picking. You know how people will. It's like 5 years ago, this person said this, and this was a bad thing. Now,
5 years ago, it wasn't.
I'm not faulting. Yeah, I'm not faulting that person. I feel like they probably have good intentions. Like equality and things like that are good intentions. But for me, the cancel culture thing that annoys the fuck out of me is that 5 years ago, you're basically saying, let's say that you said something 8 years ago, and someone's going to attack you to cancel you because you're of fame or something like that, or some recognition, right?
Yeah.
Now, on that list, if it was 8 years ago, that's essentially saying, howdy. So yeah, 8 years ago, essentially what it's saying is that person doesn't have enough room for growth and change, right? You weren't the same fucking person you were 8 years ago.
I barely fucking remember who I was 8 years ago.
But you know what I mean? Like, cancel culture is not allowing us as humans the right to actually have grown in that time. So,
and shown growth.
Yeah, and showing that growth. Like, people can be misled from younger age.
Of course they can.
And then learn, what I used to do was bad. That's called life.
That is called life.
I feel like cancel culture and alt-left attitudes of, like, picking that and, like, plastering it for everyone is, like, just the wrong thing. And I think they want the right thing, but they're going about the wrong way. That's how I feel.
What really annoys me is the media pandering to them.
Okay, yeah.
I have no problems. Like, I know you want this hard socialist thing. Socialism bad, Kay. It's killed lots of people, Kay. Yep. Stop it. So, anyway, you think it's good. You think it's going to work. You don't really know the truth about it. Stop it. I know you want equality. I know you push for equality. Equality is great. Equality of outcome, bad. Like, you know what I mean?
What's the difference?
Like, so you can control the outcome of every single person if they did the same thing. So there's no more there's no more self-responsibility for actions
and things like that. Yeah, okay, I understand.
You can create equal opportunity.
Yeah, equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity or equal outcome.
Yep.
This is what they push for. Equal outcome. Equal opportunity is true equality, is it not?
Yeah. It's like saying me to you to everyone on this planet
has
the same opportunities to meet their
highest potential,
potentials, their needs, etc.
But like, then they go on, but it's not possible because of all these, because billionaires and whatnot, corporations. It's 100% true.
Yeah.
100% true. Working a 40+ hour week, working your guts off and whatnot, just to make minute, scrape by and shit. It's hard.
I think it probably comes back to the systems thing. We're never going to find a perfect system. You're never going to find a perfect system that creates quality of opportunity
and equality of outcome,
quality of wealth. There, you're spot on. So, yeah. Cool.
So therefore,
Do you know much about alt left and alt right? Like, I just want to know when we discuss these topics, what was your thought process behind the left versus right culture war? Why is this an interesting topic to talk about for you?
why? Because it's the hypocrisy of it all. Because they're both like one's calling one's not what the other one. One's calling one fascist and Nazi, and the other one's calling one's fascist and Nazi.
Yeah.
Who's the fascist and who's the Nazi? Because I'm pretty sure they're both fascists and they're both Nazis, just with different ideologies.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Let's just off the cusp.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? Let's figure out our political spectrum by asking some questions.
Yeah.
How do you feel about abortion? Legalized or not legal?
Legal to a certain point.
Yeah, and that point is.
I think it's like 12 weeks in Australia or something like that. I feel like.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yep.
I'm
in the same boat as you.
But anything past that, I get a little bit.
Yeah.
Only because I'm a father and I've seen it. And I've seen it. Like I loved it from the moment I saw it. Saw the fucking thing in the womb.
Yeah.
So.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
But
euthanasia.
Yes.
100%.
100%. It will clear up the hospital. It will put money back into the system if you allow euthanasia.
Yeah, and people can have the right to choose that.
Yeah. I feel like if you've got a
only
terminal,
time it
I
gets
feel
a little
like
bit tricky is if the person's got dementia or something like that, or they're out of mind.
Yeah.
Then
so
you've got to have good powers, don't you? Like power of attorney. Or
then you have to have I feel like this is where it needs to be started written into your a will or something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm ever in a state where I'm in pain and I'm hurting and I'm just fucking there.
I allow this person to make this decision on my behalf.
Yes. I believe that should be enabled with euthanasia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe mental health should be people with severe depression and stuff like that, because I do believe psilocybin can help with all mental health by recreating neurological pathways in the brain.
Yep.
So I don't believe that mental health should be terminal illness.
Yep.
Oh, just like people who are old. Just like, the people who are old in hospital, they get a cold that turns into pneumonia and they're in there for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, come out, break a hip and die anyway. So they've spent 6...
Yeah, I agree with you, man. So
I don't want to be...
What are some other questions we can ask each other? Gun controls?
Gun control? See, I like guns, but no, everyone shouldn't have guns.
I reckon, we're probably going to be pretty similar there. I feel like Australia does a pretty good job.
Australia does a pretty good job of it.
I think I'm more down that line than anything else.
See, I personally
I think you should have assault rifles. Unless you're cleared for some reason to.
I mean, semi-automatics. So, assault rifles. What term are you using there, bruv? Because assault rifle is a term created by the media. Does that just mean a black scary rifle?
To me, an assault rifle is like an AK-47.
But what? Is that the fully automatic one?
Yeah, fully automatic.
They don't have them in America, bro.
Oh, really? It's all semi-automatic, is it?
Yeah, they're not assault rifles.
So a semi-automatic is an assault rifle.
That's what they call them in America.
Yeah.
That's what the media have called them, and have literally termed the phrase assault rifle.
I suppose the difference is this is more so for
it's
example,
a scary black gun. That's what it is. No, that's what it is. You can attach stuff to it to make it look scarier, like optics, flashlights, grips. You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I mean. So this term is that's where I'm like, ooh, okay. Right, I don't like that media because you've just, you're talking about a subject you know nothing upon.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So 47 to me, it's more so, I'll just take and I don't actually know the stats here, this is just off the top of my head, right? But let's say an M4 carbine or something. To me, in my head, an M4 carbine is going to shoot a lot more bullets per minute than what a handgun would. Is that close? Or...
Depends on the gun.
I suppose.
Depends on the gun, right? I don't agree on bump stocks, right?
Yeah.
So you know what a bump stock is?
You put it up against your shoulder.
So
right?
a bump stock allows a semi-automatic weapon. So if you had a foregrip,
Yeah.
you put a little bit of pressure on that front. So you're literally just going like this and just holding it forward. And the recoil of the gun is pushing back into your shoulder and you're pulling forward.
Yeah.
So you're automatically firing the next shot like this. So it's like, so you're pretty much getting the same RPM as a machine gun.
Yeah.
I don't agree with bump stocks.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But that can be out of any semi-automatic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets to the debate of whether, like, you look at California where they've started doing new things where they're trying to take away some features of a rifle.
Yep.
Just basically make them not a big black scary gun, but still have all the same features, which makes the same functionality, and can still put the same RPM down.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense to me, right?
Yeah.
They take away, can't have a pistol grip anymore. Okay, we just put a rifle stock on it. You can't have a detachable mag. You got to do it this way. Yeah, right. So you've just changed. You've just limited the speed of which you can reload, and took away a pistol grip.
Yeah.
So for ergonomics.
Cool.
But you haven't changed any of the functions, and you still have the same rifle.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. So they're trying, but what they've done is just made it so that companies can get around this ban on assault weapons or features of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's why I'm into I'm 100%. I like Australia's gun law. I think we've got it right.
Yeah. So
I'm down with guns. But I like guns, and I just don't see the hypocrisy in the media portraying stuff. Like mass shootings. Did you know mass shootings account as any more than 3 or 4 people plus?
Yeah.
Mass shootings are mostly committed by handguns.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Hot topics.
Hot topics. not the big scare. Like that's what I mean. The big black scary rifle was portrayed as the ultimate, but it's barely ever used.
What's another question we can ask? Nationalism. Do you like nationalism or not?
I think there is need.
Would you support your country if, are you the kind of person that's patriotic, nationalist?
I do think we should put more emphasis on our own people, our own people a bit more. Like we accept so many, I don't say I'm not saying nationalist, but I do think it's like we've got veterans on the fucking street, bro, and all that. To me, that's weird.
It's just you'd be hard pressed to find a person that
doesn't think
that. Yeah.
Like I'm 100%.
I'm
100% for people coming over here and and we take care of them for a bit, and then
try and help them get back to their life, or they can choose to stay if they would like to stay, kind of thing.
Yeah. But the most important thing I feel is we can get them back. Not saying I'm saying it's important. It's not I feel Australia and other developed countries cherry pick the candidates that get in. You know what I mean?
Of course. It's like it's like what they do at. I know this for a fact. Is that there's schools in Melbourne that'll kick out all the shit kickers in year 10, and they'll bring all the fucking Asian people in because they're generally the ones that are going to get better enter scores.
That's it.
That's the truth. That's the truth, man. That's
legit.
Legit.
That's it. So what happens to these third world countries? They get fucked because you took all the best people and bright minds that can fucking fix the countries.
Yeah. You're right, because
So what you're doing is making the problem worse.
Yeah.
You're making these countries worse by taking these bright minds away from these countries that could actually help the fucking countries.
Yeah, because it happens
all the time.
Impoverished continent we all know is Africa, right?
Africa.
And there's plenty of African doctors and stuff that they're not in Africa. They come over. So I can understand it from their perspective. They might see themselves as
I can get out.
I can get out, essentially. So
I can get out. I can go live in luxury.
Yeah, compared to look, at the end
Compared
of the
to
day,
having fucking power for 4 hours a day.
yeah, I think at the end of the day, there's very few people on the planet that would prefer to live in a uncomfortable third world or even second world situation than a first world if they had the opportunity to live in that.
Depends on the drugs.
That's it.
And how much I can get off it. And the price.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
You're back to eating his cake. What else have we got here? Oh, fuck it. Let's talk about psychedelic experience.
Have you smoked DMT, bro? Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah, I have.
How did you feel?
Best way to describe it would be essentially as...
You didn't break through, did you?
No, I didn't. I was sitting at the...
I was right there, though. The last time I did, I was so fucking close.
Sitting at the...
the gate?
Yeah. Essentially, it reminded me of a...
Reminded me of Mushy Trips, eh?
It reminded me of a feminine energy of like love and motherly energy, like drawing me in.
I watched the world breathe.
And then it was like a male kind of energy when it was time to leave, but it was still it wasn't like kicking you out. It was like
it was
just
warm.
Just a bit more like it's time to go now. So that was obviously there was a ton of patterns and everything.
Heaps of visuals.
I still remember all the visuals, and but I remember being like feeling like I haven't quite kicked off, but I'm here, and it's kind of like being in a little art museum, right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of looking around, and you're like, oh, this is beautiful, and there's a feminine attendant taking you around, and then a male security guard's just saying, come on, it's time to go now. That was my experience.
So last time I smoked, I vaped it. There was about 1.5 in it. I was right there.
Yeah.
Right there. I was in the backyard. It was midsummer. She was a beautiful night. Fucking on the back porch, just like smashed it all down in one smack. Like, because it's hot as fuck. So when the vape, you pre-melted, so it's just a bit of a puddle. So you just slowly.
Oh yeah.
And then you just fucking.
Because
it burns so quick.
Yeah.
It burns all of it so quick. So you smash so much so quick, and you're sitting there just like. And the best way I can explain it is the same sort of female, that warm female presence. Yeah. And I end up standing up and going to the backyard, like full trip, like and just going watching the trees. And I was watching the trees breathe, like they were just like getting a bit like bigger and smaller, but like actually. Like people, I was watching someone's chest expand.
Yeah, that's a good way of probably like LSD to describe to people that have never tried it or are interested. Is like that breathing kind of. It's like a breathing. I guess
I sat back and I watched that for a while, and then I felt warm and safe and secure and.
Yep.
I felt like all the shit I've been through in my life and whatnot it didn't matter anymore. I lost ego, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I full lost my ego for the trip. I didn't care.
Yeah. I suppose I've only had the one experience and I didn't. For me, it was no ego thing. It was just a visual and like a warmth thing, and then coming back. But it was kind of like, I don't know, maybe it was trying to say to me, you're not quite ready yet for that. But I suppose at the same time, the other flip side to it is that I feel like maybe everyone in their lifetime is going to get a fucking ego hit at some stage. It's just what you do with that news.
I've bettered myself. I've 100% bettered myself as a person after that DMT trip.
Do you feel like it's probably a philosophical question once again, but is a big ego... a positive thing, a negative thing?
I feel it's negative. Depends. I do feel it's a bit negative though. Like the ego within yourself is like
It just depends on the connotation, because with the ego comes arrogance, but with the ego
comes confidence, and confidence comes success.
Yeah, and drive
and motivation and
good things.
Yeah.
Discipline.
So there is good up and down, like too much of it brings arrogance.
Yeah.
And we see that all throughout, as males growing up through your testosterone times in puberty.
Yeah.
We all been there where we get big heads and we think we're the fucking best. And you just want to fucking punch cunts in the head.
Yeah.
And you're just like, shut the fuck up.
Shut up, cunt.
You're nothing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're going to die just like me.
Yeah.
And you're on the same ride. I love that analogy. We're all on a roller coaster. It's just that
there's fucking loud cunts.
The roller coaster. There's loud cunts on the roller coaster. Hey, can you shut up? I'm trying to fucking enjoy the fucking Rugrats ride at SeaWorld. Shut up.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, cunt. Stop squealing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I just like to use that one. It's just like at the end of the fucking roller coaster, everyone's going to run into a brick wall, right? It just depends where the brick wall is. Yours could be at 82, mine could be at fucking 35. Who knows? Ooh. Those are like the. I'm going to talk about it again. I keep rehashing some of the shit I've already talked about, but it's just so interesting to me. Especially for someone that is coming on for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And a different perspective makes you think differently too, though, man. Like if
you know life review, the life review.
No.
So it's like a Buddhist thing. Is essentially like, I'm gonna fuck this up. So what I relate it back to is like, imagine how cool it would be is once we die, we get to sit back with a universal remote and look at our lives from every perspective that you've ever wanted to know. So you want to know, what does this person actually think of me at this time? What does this, can I use a universal remote to check someone else's entire consciousness from the beginning to the end? So when I die, can I get a remote to go, hey, let's look up Finn Allwood from birth to death and see all of his thoughts, all of his feelings?
Oh, fuck, you don't want to be there.
You're like, get the fuck out.
No, seriously, you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
The other guys won't like you.
Yeah. It's interesting, though.
It is, though, isn't it? Like, just be able to go back and go through your own conscious thoughts and
because we only experience life through our own consciousness, as far as we know.
Yeah, exactly, because we're only third dimensional beings. That's it. We haven't broken through the next dimension. And I've come up with a theory.
How many Ds? How many Ds?
How many Ds are we? We're only three. We're only 3 deep, boys. I reckon we can get 5. If we really tried.
Get in there. Yeah, what was the theory that you come up with?
I was really tripped out on shrooms and nangs. Really tripped out, guys. Like, we're talking 50 odd shrooms, maybe half a box of nangs. Half a box of nangs is like 100 nangs, so we're pretty fucked at this stage. Anyway, I'm thinking about it, and I keep going in a loop. I go point to point to point. I'm doing triangles, and I started thinking about triangles in my life, in the patterns in my life that I keep doing in triangles. So I'm like, holy fuck. Then I started seeing fractals at the same time. My fractals are all shaped of triangles.
Triangles? Yeah.
Triangles, and they started forming hexagons. Holy fuck, hexagons are the most some of the strongest shapes in the world, and they're naturally created by like weird things.
Yeah.
Like bees and waves and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like the beehive. Yeah.
And then there's rocks in Ireland or something like that that's been carved out by the waves or something like that.
It's like a hexagon.
Yeah. That's really cool. But anyway,
hexagon to me is like a. Like, let's talk about shapes.
That's what I'm doing, man. Mind you, I have an 18-month-old child. Shapes are my fucking game, boy. Anyway, so the theory is you're always in a loop of three habits or 3 things you're always doing. And the idea is you're doing at some stage with these habits, you're always speeding up and they're getting worse and getting worse. The idea is that if you can slow these down enough, you can actually focus on each point and break your triangle. And finally start breaking out of your hexagon that you put yourself in.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was a cool little theory.
Yeah.
I've
fractal theory, bitches.
I haven't, not necessarily. Okay, let's go through each shape and you got to give me a word to describe that shape. So you can use bitch if you want.
Yeah,
or strong.
I'll just whatever comes from. Actually,
Alright,
just whatever comes to my mind.
Circle.
Hole.
I'll say love. For some reason, circle.
Actually, not whole as in. As in.
Whole as in together.
Together.
Yeah.
Whole.
So we're on the same page there. Triangle.
Masculine.
I think my word would probably be indifferent. And the reason why is it's not really like any other shapes. What about square? I'll go first. Square, to me, is average. Average or... Yeah, probably average, because everyone thinks of a square. It's like the most common fucking shape. So common or average would be for square?
I don't know. I was going to say... I don't know. Square.
Yeah. What's after 5? Hexagon. No, pentagon. USA.
Yeah. 9/11.
Hexagon to me is like probably something like strong. Yeah. Heptagon, I think, is 7.
I don't know. Honestly.
Octagon.
Is
That's
8.
8. So I think of UFC straight away.
Yeah.
And then decathlon or whatever the fuck it's called. Like decathlon's a fucking 10 sports, not the fucking shape. Yeah. I love how we just tangent off into shapes. Oh, beautiful.
Shapes, hey?
Yeah.
Fuck, I reckon my son would do better than us.
Another topic I wrote down, if you wanted to have a chat about it, is from someone that's obviously heavy music's my forte, but I've always been partial to rap. I've always liked rap music. I guess you can talk about your love for rap and maybe just fucking go, man.
Man, I've always loved rap music. I grew up listening to like M and Snoop and Bone Thugs and R.A. the Rugged Man and like all this other shit. And then I got heavy. I went heavy ad around 12, 13 when I discovered depression and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I went heavy for ages. But then
heavy as in metal.
Yeah, I went metal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to festivals. I went to gigs. I was all about it, man.
Yeah.
And then I started doing my own thing again and just rediscovered my love for rap. I still like heavy. I can still go heavy. Happy to go heavy. But
why the fuck do so many people that listen to rap listen to heavy music? All the other, it's almost like an anti-mainstream kind of love for both music, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. My rap taste is not mainstream rap.
Yeah.
Don't like 6ix9ine or Lil Kashi or I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know the new mainstream rappers. I don't listen to them.
You just don't keep up with it?
I don't care.
In it?
I like underground, man. I like weird, different. I guess the only new rapper I really like is Lil Dicky. But I've been liking Lil Dicky for ages prior to his fucking... I liked him when he was doing his YouTube shit. That was great.
Yep.
I don't... These newer songs, last two new songs have been shit. I liked him doing his funny stuff where he spit lyrically.
Mm-hmm.
And he can put
that man has some fucking amazing freestyles,
doesn't he?
Oh, but when he puts his words together, delicious.
That's it. That's what I love rap. How they put the words together and the double intonsions and the fucking wordplay and
or words that sound like other words, but you've got to bend and snap the word to
and how
fit it.
The cadence. Is that it? The cadence of the how they actually... That
might be the word for it. Cadence.
Is that how they actually this flow?
Maybe.
It's how they actually flow. Is the I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's cadence.
Cadence meaning. Ooh, we're going to do this live. Cadence means... Oh, thanks, computer. Thanks for being slow. You fucking... Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. I know it's you fucking cunt.
You're watching it. I know you're watching this live.
A modulation or inflection of the voice. So... Measured... So rhythm and tempo, essentially. Yeah, so it's flow.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're right.
So that was a technical term for flow.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Yeah. Bitches. Do you...
So
So old school
I,
versus new school is probably the one that a lot of people.
So the thing is, old school to me is boring now because the game's changed. Because I know you've got a lot of new trap stuff, and that's your mainstream. But if you dig deeper and you actually start listening to some different stuff, like you find people who are really intelligent who are writing.
Yeah.
Really, really clever with words, and I feel like the game's changed where you have to be clever with your words and just like to stand out. Because if you can't be like these new mainstream trap rappers spitting fucking 3-4 lines, not even a fucking full 16, and it's just like, holy shit, what are you doing, cunts? Please stop.
Do you have any like off the cusp kind of like recommendations of new stuff that you like? Or
like I like Chris Webby. I think he's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Snack the Ripper, awesome.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool guy. Mercules.
I have heard of Mercules before, I think.
Yeah, Mercules is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like these are some of my like off the cusp some favorites I listen to. I'm just going through my Spotify.
Beautiful. Thank you. And on this end, we'd like to thank Spotify for being a sponsor of the podcast. Now pay us a lot of money. Thank you.
Please. No, seriously, please can't. No, I don't know. I like. There's a lot of different stuff. I've got a lot of like. I try and keep it like OG, but it's hard. And all my rap now these days is so many different people because of Spotify and data and discoveries, and I barely go into discover artists because as soon as I start deep diving into an artist, I start loving them and forget about discovering music, and I love discovering music.
So you actually are the kind of person that enjoys listening to music and then discovering new music and then keep flowing that through that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard this. Let's listen to this, and then keep going with. Yeah, that's cool because that to me is like what I would see myself probably when I was like 18 or so with heavy music. It would just be constantly looking up new bands, new music.
I'm not even looking it up.
It's
Spotify's
just
doing it for me.
Yeah.
Every week I just go through my discovery weekly and just jam out to it for the week. And if I like songs, I save them.
Yeah.
And then like I've been doing that for the last month and a half, and I've got a heap of new songs, and I'm just like, fuck, there's so many artists I actually want to go through and just start like.
That's so funny because it's like the opposite in a sense of me now, because you have like more of a it's what's the word I'm looking for? Probably order and chaos. Mine's order, yours is chaos. Nothing wrong with either. It's just the way that we check our tunes.
I mean, my tunes, I do have all my favorites, like all my like I can always just go to this person, this like these artists. I know 99% of their songs.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
I'm not really keeping up with new music across the board at the moment, so
don't know any heavy new music.
Yeah,
unless it's on Triple J.
Yeah, yeah. Do you listen to Triple J?
In the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowhere else. It's fucking trash.
Yeah. Hey, and we'd like to not thank you, Triple J, for sponsoring this podcast. Fuck off, dogs. Also, pay us. Thank you.
Pay us, please, ABC.
Pay us for the free sponsorship and the fucking free advertising.
And the call out.
Yeah. That'll be $25,000. Thanks. Just drop it.
Don't have that money.
I suppose, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, look. Nah, pretty good, man. Like, unless you.
Oh, yeah. We had one more.
Yeah.
Thing written down. Fatherhood.
Yeah. I am I'm not a new dad. He's 18 months, almost 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, it's been challenging. Been a good challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
Absolutely adore him. I think the biggest problem, because he's such a shit sleeper for such a long time.
Oh, okay.
It really fucked with my mental health because it pre-existing mental health conditions.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things for my mental health to really fucking trigger is lack of sleep. Then Then what happens is I start losing the daily battles. I always win.
How long ideal world? Are you someone that likes to sleep for like 10 to 12 hours or like 6 to 8 or
just
doesn't
6 to 8 hours preferably?
Yeah.
But that's about like
If I'm just asking that because if I had a ideal world, I'd probably sleep 9 hours a day, 8-9 hours a day, sometimes 10.
no.
'Cause I just
can't.
like that.
Like honestly, I can't sleep more than 6 to 8 hours. Sometimes I'm up like at 4:30 in the morning, just like bang, I'm awake. All right, I'll get up and have a coffee.
So you're that way. I'm the other way.
I might have only got to bed at like midnight, but I'm fucking bang 4 o'clock. I'm awake. Can't go back to sleep.
What's the biggest surprise and what's the best thing about fatherhood?
Biggest surprise.
Or something not necessarily. Yeah, maybe just that you were like, I suppose surprise is the best fucking word. Idiot is like something you weren't expecting, obviously. So.
Don't know, man. Like
it's all pretty stock standard.
It's all like I've got 9 other nieces and nephews, and and I help raise 4 of them. So sort of knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Do you think that makes a difference than jumping in blind?
Jumping in blind's a bit more scary. I did sort of like it was still jumping in blind, but I still had some knowledge. Like I knew how to. Funny enough, my partner had never changed a nappy, so for most people it's the same. Where I knew like how to make formula, and I knew how to heat a bottle up, and I knew how to like do all this, like do that.
All just the basics.
The real basic
have to know. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of
that's
a situation.
Nothing.
It fucking forces you to learn that shit. Anyway.
And it forces us like to grow up. We're both partiers and whatnot, and absolutely out of that scene now, and just. Good parents. We try to be, Full focus on him, and pretty much that's it. Like,
what's the plans for another children? Any other children? Or
that's no. Because my partner's the only child, and she doesn't want that for him. So we're one more.
Yeah, because I was the only child. And look at my fucking head. It's not good, is it?
That's why you are a friendly neighborhood YouTuber.
I was gonna say you're just like I feel nothing but pity for you, you fucking munted cunt.
Funny as. But I have no pity for you.
You've got a few siblings.
Yeah, I'm the middle of 5.
Yeah, fuck. I thought there was a few.
Middle child always gets neglected.
Yeah, mummy, daddy.
Where are you? Oh, that's right. I don't talk to you.
Oh, actually, really?
Yeah.
I don't talk to my dad because he's out getting a pack of smokes still.
Is he?
That is what it is.
What's it like growing up with not a father figure? Or did your mum remarry?
Yeah, she did, but late when it was... he's been in my life as a stepdad since I was 12, but I had a stepdad between 6 and 11. Mum dated a guy for like 5 years. So I've kind of always had a father figure to teach you those little things. So I've never been that actual true proper only brought up by my mum. But you see, like fucking every other person will tell you, you're a mum's boy. You're a feministic tendencies because I don't know how to fix a fucking car kind of thing. Not that females can't fix cars, okay? Fuck off. But
I don't know how to fix a car, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the typical. Hashtag invert
male
once again, the male stereotype or whatever for your basics. Like I
taught myself how to fish. I taught myself how to camp. I taught myself how to hunt.
I could fish. I couldn't hunt. I've never hunted. I could fish.
I taught myself how to hunt with a bow.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Like compound.
I got a 65 pound PSE Stinger a compound bow.
Is it hit?
No.
Oh,
it's my parents' house.
Oh damn. I could fish. But I can't fix a car. I can fix a tyre if I had to.
I can fix a tyre. I can change the battery.
Can you build anything?
Yeah.
The things out the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can build.
I can build like a shelf. I could fucking do it with an IKEA thing or some shit. But you know what I mean? Like from scratch.
I can build stuff from scratch. I built a mini ramp from scratch.
Renovating kind of shit? Could you do?
I've painted this house.
Oh, so yeah. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can paint.
Yeah.
Good painter, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Put that shelf up. And that one.
Oh, did you?
That bench originally ran along here.
Yep.
This back wall here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I cut it down and moved it over there. So it was longer. So
Oh, fuck, I'm wigging out now. There's a fucking hexagon over there against the wall. Look.
Yeah, that's our big porch, like our big fucking canvas. We're gonna do medium. What is it? Liquid medium art on it. Yeah, have you seen the pour art where people pour different colours on it and spread it around like that?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we've done it before when they're hanging up in Harlow's room. I'll show you after this.
Oh, cool.
They're really cool. So we're gonna do one big one with some cool colours, and we'll get some more.
That's the thing that I'm
pouring medium.
Yeah, as
but
I'm
the
getting
pouring
older.
medium's expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Did you know I can airbrush?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the actual. I used to do lessons. I did lessons when I was about 16.
Would you consider yourself an artistic person?
I was.
Yeah.
I still can
I
be.
am not artistic at all. Like not. How can I describe it? I'm the person that needs something, whether it's something small, creatively. So the podcast or writing my blog, for me is like my creative outlet. But I don't play an instrument or play art. It's
art.
More fucking. Did I just say play art? Fucking dead. Oh, good work. Yeah, it's just more of a
sentencing.
It's more of a thinking things that I like to do creatively, but I've never given it really a shot.
I really like airbrushing.
Do you play an instrument?
I can play piano. I can play the guitar.
Yeah, see, I can't fucking play shit.
I grew up with a 150-year-old piano pretty much in my room.
Oh yeah.
So whenever I bought it,
just jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar is something I picked up when I was like, I don't know, 19 and started writing a little bit of my own music. But I could never play my own, could never actually play a full song. I learned the basics and just started figuring out my own songs from there.
Did you just do that from sound or did you learn?
No, I learned songs from just tabs.
Yeah.
And just listening to the song.
Yep.
And then after that, I just started making my own tunes up. Just making my own sort of riffs and making my own sort of peaceful music and stuff. And did the same, learned nothing on the piano. Just jumped on and started making my own music up as soon as I learned, as soon as I figured out the keys and figured out different things myself.
Yeah. So
it was all by sound, really.
You're going to have to show me this art thing after we jump off this. Actually, because it's the one thing that I'm coming to actually enjoy. And once again, coming back full circle, when you said before you get those little kicks out of growing your own veggies and stuff.
Self-made, self-doing.
To me, that's...
The little things are the most important things, and we neglect that. That self-satisfaction of completing something you've worked hard on is the best fucking thing. You did it because you were enjoying to do it.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, because you're actually enjoying it, and it's not being forced upon you, or it's not societally being forced upon you.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Hey, we got to do a sing-along.
Sing-along?
We got to do a sing-along. We can pick any song. It doesn't really matter.
I don't know what to pick.
Everyone else has been on the podcast the same thing. They're like, I don't fucking know. What's a banger? What's a song that... do you have any songs that you just love to belt out a tune to? You just like singing in general? One that is a well-known one, I guess. Or not really. Do you not have that kind of mainstreamy...
Bitch, please.
Beautiful.
Trying to find a song. Trying to find... It's really hard.
I know. When you get put on the spot, it's hard.
Well, you got to think of a tune that you want to listen to. Yes! Got it.
Beautiful.
It's a remix, though.
That's okay. Do you want to play it?
Yeah, I'm just making sure there's no... Yep. What's happened here?
Once again, Mark Zuckerberg.
Every night. Oh my god. Let's restart this shit. This needs to be proper. It needs to load. I don't know what's happening here, boys and girls. We seem to be having some technical difficulty thanks to the Liberal government and their shitty internet connections.
Also, fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. I'll call you out every podcast. You fucking penis-looking cunt. You're a robot. I hate you.
Do you not love him?
No. I was saying before today that Tom from MySpace, at least he was my friend.
Are you ready, boy?
Yep.
Every night I hope and pray the dream lover will come my way. I hope you'll hold in my arms the little tip of my arms. I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't gotta dream no more. Cause I want.
What's that song?
This is Dream Lover by Bobby Drain.
Oh. Kind of reminds me of a fish floating through the ocean.
Trap remix, boys and girls.
We're good, man. Do you have any last thoughts, last sayings?
Be good, motherfuckers.
Be good, motherfuckers. Out.